Yeah, so I have spoken to a few young adults, and also some of the employees that I brought in are also in the millennials, the younger age, and this was it's a typical question that there's a thirst to say I'd like to start my own company too, but I'm afraid because you know that I believe 20% of new companies will fail in the first year, and about 80% will fail by before it hits 5 years. So there's but at the same time, I tell them that, that the United States, there's about 99.999% of businesses are small businesses. Right? So we always hear of the big companies, Google, Yahoo, IBM, Microsoft, but they're a 0.00001% of the population on the business world. So there's a lot more small businesses. And I think in the United States, it's easy to start a business. Now, once you start a business, there's a lot of books on how to run business. I could give you my personal experience of how I started a business and what it meant for me. I never thought I would start a business. I was an engineer, and an engineer, you work in a firm, you go to the firm, you do your job, and then you go home. But at one point, I said, I'm going to be, yeah, before I was, then as an engineer, I became an IT manager. So I became a manager, and I saw the complexities and the challenges of being a manager. Boy, was it difficult. You know, with all the good intentions I had, uh, middle management especially, you call it, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And so when I moved to New York, I took I took an MBA, thinking that okay, MBA classes, business admin will tell me how to manage and to be a better manager. I did it in 3 years, and I remember when I got my degree, and I said, "This is it. This is." I always thought that people who have MBA are people who know everything about business. That would, but in my case, I got a degree, and I felt like, it didn't really give me all the answers. Maybe I missed what was being taught, but I felt like I was still ill-equipped to know all what needs to be done. And then I started to be an independent contractor because I said, okay, independent contractor, I just need to worry about myself. I don't need to manage anyone. I don't need to worry about anything else, but just do my job. And long behold, the company grew, and at one point we were about 15 employees. And you could imagine the challenges not only being a manager, but running a company, running, thinking about sales, being an entrepreneur, always thinking, how can I grow the company? How can I sustain the company? Um, how to abide with all the laws and regulations. An engineering firm working on a public safety like the subway stations, there are so many, you may want to say red tape. So every day you're just bombarded with decisions and decisions. Decision making is just like, because you're required to make decisions. And how do you know what to do? How does one know in business what to do? And I felt like, yes, I was an IT manager. I managed before, and then I did an MBA. I took the courses, and however, I realized that because of the living with the principles of the economy of communion, it helped me not to rely only on myself, on my experience, but this mutual relationship, that the reciprocity that I receive from everyone, that helped me make those decisions. There's no way that I don't think a NetPro will survive in its first or second year if it was all the decisions were left to me. even though I had the MBA degree, even though I was an IT manager, but running a business, a technical engineering company, required a lot more. And to me, the principles of the relationships, of basing things not only of this relying on my strength and my knowledge, but the fact that I could connect with the CAD engineer, the accountant, the intern, to the CFO, to the COO, to the engineers. Those are so much of a resource that helped me deal with most of those decision making that we had to make.